Welcome back to Terence Ferments. Welcome back to Terence Ferments. I'm your host Terence, and this week we're making kombucha. Before we get to brewing, let's dive into some history. He who knows the past controls the future of kombucha. Like many ferments, the origins of kombucha are shrouded in mystery. One record dates it to 2020 BC during the Qin dynasty, where it was referred to as the Tea of Immortality.
Lovely.
Even the name is unclear in origin. Some accounts state that kombucha comes from Dr. Kombu, who brought the beverage to Japan in 441 AD, while others claim that it comes from the Japanese word for seaweed, kombu. Kombucha has been enjoyed in Russia since the early 1900s. At times it was drunk as a powerful health tonic, and at other times as a substitute for soda. I've never actually had soda, but I've always been satisfied by kombucha, so I've never had the temptation to taste it. Kombucha entered American culture in the 60s and continued to spread through the hippie movement, where it was common practice to give friends extra scobies. The start of the modern kombucha industry starts in 1995 with the founding of the first commercial brewers, GT's Kombucha. It's been steadily gaining popularity ever since and really taking off around 2017.
Kombucha is a fermented sweet tea with a culture of bacteria and yeast.
It's like wine with a teaspoon of vinegar. That's what it's, but you know what, a lot of people are...
Carbonation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carbonation. Yes. Yeah.
So, you're probably asking, is this stuff all that healthy? Well, have I got news for you. There have been all sorts of health claims about kombucha that range from curing cancer to just about any ailment you can think of. While most of these are unsubstantiated in clinical trials, there are some great benefits that shouldn't be overlooked.
Great probiotic.
Kombucha is a great probiotic that helps to maintain a well-functioning microbiome. It maintains the beneficial compounds and antioxidants found in tea through the fermentation process. As with all things in life, balance is key. Drinking more than 5 or 6 cups at once can cause an imbalance in your microbiome, which could lead to some stomach cramps and bad gas. This actually happened to me when I got overzealous on my first ferment. I was 23 years old, in the prime of my youth, when I was overstricken with a terrible stomach pain. I felt bloated, and I couldn't stop farting or burping. I spent the next 2 days in bed. The farts weren't the good kind. They were very small and didn't satisfy. And don't get me started on the burps. These days I like to have a little 4-ounce cup with meals. There's a whole world of microbiomes, but we only know a few. Let's learn about some that we can find in kombucha. In a 2013 study by Alan J. Marsh, 5 different kombucha samples from around the world had their genetic information sequenced and analyzed. On the bacterial side, kombucha is primarily made of acetobacter and gluconoacetobacter. They generate acetic acid, otherwise known as vinegar, and glucuronic acid, respectively. The former is responsible for kombucha's nice, tart taste, and the latter is helpful to the liver in processing toxins in the body. You've probably heard of the word SCOBY, or had one given to you by a strange uncle at a family reunion. There's nothing to be afraid of with SCOBYs, even though they may seem foreign. Let's learn what goes inside. The round solid mass on the top of the ferment is referred to as a SCOBY. SCOBY, S-C-O-B-Y, stands for Symbiotic Colony of Bacteria and Yeasts. It is considered a biofilm and made of cellulose. It helps to protect the environment in the kombucha from outside molds that would otherwise harm the bacteria and would love to gain access to those sugary resources. The SCOBY itself can be cooked and eaten as a squid substitute or dried out to form a leather-like textile. The possibilities are endless. So you have all these scobies. Where do you keep them? When not actively brewing kombucha, you can store your scobies in what's called a SCOBY motel. You can store your scobies in a SCOBY motel. To do so is very simple. Fill a thoroughly cleaned container halfway with sweet tea, then add the scobies. Fill the rest of the way with finished kombucha and place somewhere cool out of direct sunlight. Don't worry about your scobies, they have plenty of friends and sugars to keep them company. When you work hard, you also deserve to play hard, and that's what the SCOBY motel is all about. As the owner of your own SCOBY motel, make sure to be a good innkeeper. Keep the pool and minibar stocked with water and sweet tea. Don't forget to clean the rooms after your SCOBY departs on its next adventure. Choosing a tea for your kombucha can be a challenge. A fun one though. Any tea that comes from the Camellia sinensis plant can be used. Tisanes like chamomile or mint may not provide the proper nutrients for the microorganisms. They can, however, be incorporated into secondary ferments. It's fun to experiment with different blends. Personally, I like a combo of 70% black tea to 30% green tea. I've had success with all types of tea though. You can use cheaper store-bought tea bags or nicer loose leaf. It's up to you. Let's talk sugars, shall we? Most sweeteners that contain sugar will work, including honey. The fermentation process, however, won't work with sugar-free or zero-calorie sweeteners. Molasses or extremely dark brown sugars can introduce compounds that will interfere with the fermentation process and lead to off flavors. I like to use natural cane sugars, but occasionally I like to also experiment with different types of local honey. Let's get busy brewing. To get started with your very own kombucha, you'll need the following. Some starter culture in the form of a SCOBY or unpasteurized kombucha from the store. A sanitized non-metal container. Tea, either 10 tea bags or 20 to 30 grams of loose tea. 1 cup of sugar. 1 gallon of water brought to boil on stovetop. I've got some hot water recently off the stove in my glass container. Next I'm going to add my sugar. I'll give it a quick stir to make sure that it dissolves. Next I'm going to add my tea leaves and let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes. How you spend your 3 to 5 minutes is up to you. Personally, I like to do deep diaphragm breathing. 1. 2. 3. Our tea is steeped. Let's go ahead and remove the tea bags. Let's stir to help dissolve any remaining sugar. Now we'll wait until it cools before adding the SCOBY. Now that the tea is cooled, it's time to drop in the SCOBY. Next, we'll cover the top.
That's it!
This should prevent any dust or molds from getting into the tea as it ferments. Now, it's time to kick back and wait 7 to 10 days. Allowing the proper time for kombucha fermentation gives me a chance to focus on other hobbies like sitar, gardening, composting, inner reflection, or even sitting down with an old friend. Today, I'm lucky enough to speak with Amy, a fellow local booch brewer.
Hey dude, how are you?
Hey, it's been forever.
I know.
It's good to see you. Got some June kombucha?
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. With evolution, a really clever mechanism that happened was there's something like 10 times as much genetic information in the microbiome as there is in the human body. So it's kind of offloading all those processes onto
Well, I'd
bacteria.
actually say that the process of kombucha mimics your microbiome in a certain way because it's a bunch of individual processes that have nothing to do with the outcome, and it just happens to work so beautifully.
Yeah, and if either ratio of different bacteria gets off balance, then it can
Really
mess up the
you up,
batch.
yeah. Give you pneumonia.
Thanks, Amy. Great talking with you. Stage 1 is now complete. The past 7 to 10 days have really flown by. I haven't even found time to change clothes. But now it's time for my favorite part of brewing, the secondary ferment. This is where you can really allow your creativity to flourish and let your freak flag fly. For adding a wider range of flavors, we can employ a secondary ferment. Using a well-sealed container, the kombucha can be made to be much more fizzy and carbonated as well. You can use a wide range of ingredients for new flavors like ginger, wild berries, fruits, spices, or even vegetables. I've spent the past week foraging a plethora of local ingredients including peach, mulberries, honeysuckle, rosemary, and mint. Now it's time to put these new friends to work. First, take your fermented kombucha and put it in the container with the additional ingredients and some extra sugar to keep the fermentation going. Let's seal it up. I used to use old beer bottles and would cap them with a bottle capper. This works great for gifts and having a couple of cold ones in the fridge. Personally, I don't drink, but I like the feeling of sipping on a brew with friends, and I can do that thanks to kombucha.
Eternal family.